Okay, so now we'll see the topic multi-threading. So here threading is the concept name. Here I have kept a logo here, a tagline, programming that require a different way of thinking but offers great rewards. A different way of thinking. Till now we have written programs which executes sequentially like this. What if this part of the program executes at one time and this part of the program executes at another time parallelly? In thinking in that way is nothing but multi-threading. If you can think in that way, you can use multi-threading and it will give great rewards. What kind of rewards will achieve through multi-threading also we'll see. And see, this is an example. You will see a lot of ATMs present in our town. See, if you take up a bank, SBI has ATMs in our college campus, at Rest House Road, or in Chinamiram, at many places. But it maintains only a single server. Okay, that server only takes care of the withdrawals or the operations happening at all the ATMs. A single program is running and it is able to take care of all. So this is one example of how multi-threading is helpful in that program. We'll understand it further when we go to the next slides. So the topics of this chapter are in this video we'll cover what is a thread. We'll introduce what is a thread. Okay. First, we'll understand what is meant by multitasking. Multitasking means doing multiple jobs. Doing multiple jobs. So while you are listening this video, you might be eating something or you are doing something else or listening video and writing notes at the same point of time. You are doing multiple jobs at a time, multiple tasks at a time. That is multitasking. Uh, Earlier, at the beginning, the computers are used to be single task performers. That means it used to perform only one task at a time. Okay, but nowadays it bores us, no? So a lot of multitasking it will do. So if you take this example, I am running PowerPoint here and I am running a video recorder here to record the video, and at the same time my back Chrome browser is also opened. That means I have opened a number of processes, number of applications are running on my PC at this point of time. See, I have only single CPU, and that single CPU is performing all these, running PowerPoint, running my video recorder, running my Chrome browser, all are taken care by my processor. That means my processor is doing multiple jobs. But here the secret is CPU can do only one thing at a time. It cannot do all the things. So what the CPU will do? So even though all the applications are opened, okay, I have opened one application. In your phones also you are opening number of applications at a time, no? So what the processor is doing, the CPU is spending some nanoseconds here. After spending some nanoseconds running this application, CPU switches to the next application, and it will do some operation, and again CPU switches to this operation, and again it will do some operation. It will give an intuition to the user that that processor is working on every application you have opened. Okay, so to which process the CPU have to spend time on will be decided by a program at the background called scheduler. Okay, OS takes care with the help of a program called scheduler to which application the CPU has to pay concentration. In that way, our processors are doing multitasking. Multitasking is achieved in that way. But anyways, this multitasking is again two ways, process based and thread based. Hope you are aware what is meant by a process. If a program is in running, then it is called process. Okay. Uh, a program is in execution, then it is a process. Suppose I am running Microsoft. Microsoft is a program, an application designed by someone. I am enjoying its output right now. So it is a process. Chrome browser is a program written by someone else. And when I click on Chrome, double click on Chrome, it is opening a window, no, that is output of that program written by some guy, software written by some guy. So I am executing those programs. These are all processes. One kind of multitasking is process based multitasking, our OS is doing, and the other kind of multitasking is thread based multitasking. As a coder, you can do this kind of multitasking in your program. Okay, so what is the definition of multitasking? It's an ability to execute two or more tasks in parallel. Okay, multitasking can be achieved in two ways. One is process based and the other one is thread based. There are some pictures to understand. If you have a processor, how it is doing. See, I have browser application, Excel application, Microsoft PowerPoint application, media player. All these are processes running on my system. OS takes care to which process the CPU has to pay concentration. This OS guy, that's why we call OS as manager. It manages all the processes running on the CPU. Okay. So this is multitasking. Here it is a single program. A single program is running more number of jobs parallelly. This is multi-threading. If a single program is running more number of jobs parallelly, then it is multi-threading. Okay. So multi-threading is also like this. In a single program, in a process is a program in execution. No? When a single program is executing, first it will run one thread. After that, it stops executing this thread and goes to another thread. It executes the second thread for some time and again resumes back to another thread. Okay, if you observe here also, the CPU is able to run only one thread at a time. It is not able to do multiple jobs at a time. Okay, after running this thread for some amount of time, it is switching from here to here. After running this from uh, some amount of time, it is switching from here to here. That means the CPU, the processor needs to switch from one thread to another. Clear? So switching from one process to another or switching from one thread to another is also called context switching. Okay. Why we are using the word context? If I am running this part, I will have some variables and they will have some values. Okay, and they are referring some memory addresses. When I go here, all this needs to be stored somewhere, and I'm going here, no, at from which point I'm running, what are the local variables, I have to collect everything from somewhere. That means the whole context needs to be switched from one thread to another. That's why it is called context switching. So a process is referred as an heavyweight application. We'll see why it is in heavyweight with proof. Okay, and process requires their own address space. The meaning is, suppose if I open an Excel application, then it needs some amount of RAM, some amount of memory for this purpose. Okay, and if I open PowerPoint also at the same time, it also needs some amount of RAM. If I open Chrome browser, multiple processes I am opening, then it also needs some amount of RAM. Clear? That's why when I open number of application, my execution becomes lower because every process I open needs some amount of memory, some amount of address space. Okay, every process requires their own address space. This Excel application can't share memory of this guy and this guy. They require their own memory locations. Okay, and the third point is IPC is expensive. What is meant by IPC? Inter-process communication. That means communication in between these processes. That means I want to send something from my Microsoft to Chrome browser, from Chrome browser to something else. That is process to process communication. To perform process to process communication, we have some APIs. We can do that also, but it is an expensive job. Expensive means it's not amount, it is computation time or storage. That thing is they are referring it to expensive. Context switching is costly. That means moving from this application to this application, CPU needs to store lot of data from going from here to here. That means moving from here to here, there is a lot of burden. Okay. Here the words costly, expensive means it's not money. It's like storage or time taken. They are all comes under this. Okay. So process is heavyweight. It requires their own address space. IPC is expensive and context switching is costly. Okay. So this is a process. Suppose if I open Excel, this is a process. When a process is executing, then the related code will be stored somewhere in the memory. The related code will be stored somewhere in the memory, and the input required by this process, and if any file is opened by that Excel, or you are writing to some other files, all those files will be stored in the memory. Okay. So, and while executing a program, you need some help from these. This is stack part to store global local variables and all, and this is program counter, which stores address of the next instruction to be executed by the process, and this is register. You can store some variables here so that your program can access fastly, because registers are near to processor, fastly they can be accessed fastly. Okay. So when a process is running, it needs separate memory. If I open another process, Chrome, if I open again, it will have code. Again, it will have some location data and files. Again, it will have registers, counters, and stack. Okay. They have their own address space. For every process we opened, we'll get all these. That's why these are heavy. Okay. Process is heavy. We have first point, no, process is heavy. For this reason, we call the process as heavy. Okay. What happens when we follow multi-threading? If I execute more number of jobs, here 3, more number of jobs in a single process, what happens is, say it is a single program, so the code is common. The code is shared by all the threads. The code is shared by all the threads. The program needs some data and some files. This is also shared among all the threads. There is no need to maintain separate copies for data and files for every thread. Okay. Here the only requirement is this is a set of instructions, and these are set of instructions, and these are set of instructions. No. So which instruction need to be executed next? What are the local variables for this thread? What are the what is the next instruction for this thread? For storing that, we need a separate set of registers. We need separate program counter for that, and we need stack. Okay. So here the point to observe is, if you have multiple threads in a single program, they'll share common memory locations, common code. But they will maintain separate program register, separate register set, separate program counter, and separate stack memory. That's all. That's why the multi-threading is referred as lightweight. Okay. And moreover, to switch from here to here, it is not a big burden, because they are sharing the common things, no? So context switching is not a burden here. Here, if I want to communicate from here to here, it is a big burden. But if I want to communicate from here to here, that is not a big burden. Okay. So inter-process communication is costly, whereas inter-thread communication is not that much costly. Okay. If I want to move from here to here, context switching is also costly, but if my CPU wants to move from here to here, it is not that much costly. That is the differences. In multitasking, I'll not get the separate address spaces. Here the address space is shared. Okay. So what is a thread? If a program is able to run 2 or more, here 2 or more, if it is only single part, there is no concept of concurrency. If a program contains 2 or more parts, that can run parallelly. Okay. So if your program is able to run 2 parts parallelly, then every part is referred as thread. Okay, it is a part of a program. Okay, it is a part of a program and it is able to run parallel with the other parts of the program. Then it is referred as thread. Clear? If you have lot of threads in your program, then it is called multi-threaded program. Java and Python supports multi-threaded programming. They are more beneficial. If you observe our animations, if you see Tom and Jerry, many of the people know Tom and Jerry. While watching it on the television, we'll get an intuition that Tom and Jerry both are running at the same time if they are running, but they are different parts of your program, and CPU is paying concentration on them parallelly. Okay, every thread defines a separate path of execution. Every thread defines a separate path of execution. This is one thread, this is another thread, this is another thread. CPU will execute this thread for some time, this thread for some other time, this thread for some other time, again it may go to some other thread, again it may go to some other thread. In that way it will complete execution of the threads. But here the important point is it executes only one thread at a time, even though it has multiple threads in the program. It is a lightweight process because it is sharing the memory, sharing the code and all. For that purpose we'll refer it as lightweight. Okay, it is also a special form of multitasking. Here you are achieving multiple tasking in a single program. A single program is able to do multiple jobs. So in a single program, parallelly, if you read a number n, you can find whether it is prime or not. You can find whether it is palindrome or not. You can find whether it is Armstrong or not. In a single program, parallelly, you can do all these three works. So that's nothing but multitasking. Okay, so it consumes CPU in a best possible manner. You'll understand it why. Suppose if my CPU is executing this thread and this thread requires printer, it is waiting for printer IO. Okay, so if if it is waiting for printer, the CPU has to stay idle. No, what it will do, it will switch to another. Okay, it will execute it for some time. After its job with printer is over, then it says that I am ready, please come and execute me. In that way it will notify. So if after executing it for some time, it will go to some other thread based on some priorities or based on some rules specified by the OS or specified by the coder, in that way. Okay, so suppose one thread is waiting for IO device, CPU can intelligently work on the other threads. In that way, parallel processing helps us to use the CPU in a best possible manner. Okay. So these are some important points relating to threads. It is lightweight. Same address space is shared. Inter-thread communication is not expensive. Context switching, that is processor moving from one thread to another, is not costly. It is smaller than a process. Why it is smaller than a process? It is part of a process, no? So obviously it is smaller than process. So it's still capable of executing Java code. Stack has its own stack space. Every thread has its own stack, register and PC, program counter. Okay. If your Java program has n number of threads, every thread will have its own stack, own registers, own PC. Okay, but the objects and all will be shared. It will make the maximum utilization of your CPU, and thread programming is suitable in the network environments. To do network programming, we use thread programming. Okay, these are differences between process based multitasking and thread based multitasking. Just go through this. Till now we have discussed these only. Okay, so this is about what is a thread and what is the difference between multitasking and multi-threading. That's all.